Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Chase Sanders, a National Board Certified Special Education teacher, and on my channel I post content for both students and educators. So today's video is going to be a tutorial of how to Nearpodify, and yes, that is a word, or at least it's a word to me, how to Nearpodify a Skyline lesson. So if that topic interests you and you'd like to learn more about how to transform your Skyline lesson into a much more engaging and interactive lesson, then stay tuned. Let's get right into it. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Nearpodifying a Skyline lesson. Our objective for today is that by the end of this video, you will be able to add interactive student-facing features to a Skyline lesson. So here's what we're going to do today. We are going to go through why I love Nearpod and why I couldn't teach without it. And we're not going to do number two. But we are going to look at an example of a near-podified lesson, and then I'm going to give you a tutorial and showing you exactly how I managed to turn a Skyline lesson into a near-podified, interactive, engaging experience. So why Nearpod? Why are we even doing this? So one reason I love Nearpod is that it is student facing, and this means that whatever you are teaching or presenting from your end, students are able to see from their end. So there's no more craning their neck to see what's going on the TV. You don't have to worry about students directing their attention to whatever you're doing. They have whatever they're supposed to be paying attention to right in front of them. Number two, Nearpod is engaging. So you can add interactive slides to your lesson to really maximize student participation. So you can add like quizzes, just on the spot questions. You can really embed a lot of activities into your lesson to make it more engaging to students. And then the final reason why I love Nearpod is that it is your one-stop shop for all data and a lot of some assignment submissions. So anything that they do on Nearpod, you have access to via the reports. So if you have students take a quiz or answer a question, do a longer response, you have that in your reports. So just three reasons why I really love Nearpod. So right now I'm going to take you through an example of a Nearpodified Skyline lesson. All right here is an example of a Skyline lesson, and this is a sixth grade ELA lesson, and it is lesson 5 of unit 1. This is what the lesson slides look like. It's really nice how Skyline actually creates the slides for you. However, the slides are not student facing. What this means is that when you present the slides, you are presenting them on a smartboard or a TV. Students are not able to see what you are presenting from their own device. So what I did is I uploaded some of these slides to Nearpod, and this is what we came up with. All right, so we have the title page, lesson 5, but right away I added a poll, and this is just a simple SEL check-in. How are you feeling? Just a good way to get a sort of gauge on how your class is feeling, and if any students want to share out what they're experiencing, then this is a good opportunity to do that. And then you have the agenda. All right, so this is a draw it slide right here. So these are point of view questions. The one point of view question is, how do you think or feel about the White Sox? Because this lesson is all about point of view. And so what you can do on this slide is you can either write like I think the White Sox are great. And then for students who are more artistically inclined, they can draw pictures using the tools like the crayon or the highlighter. I'm a terrible artist, but some kids can really do some cool things with with these tools right here. So you can draw like a picture of a baseball. This is pretty much the best I can do. But some of my students can really outdo me with the artwork. What does it mean to have a point of view? That was one of the other questions. All right, and here we have a slide that says, what is your current level of mastery towards the learning target standards? One of the coolest things about Nearpod is that it makes self-assessment super easy. So we have a poll right here. What is your current level of mastery towards the target standards? So it's just a simple 3-level scale. I can explain how the author develops. With help, I can explain, or I cannot explain. And that is it for the preview. Obviously, there's more of the lesson that I could go through, but the point of this is not to take you through an entire lesson, but just to give you an idea of what you can do with a lesson. All right, so how do we Nearpodify a Skyline lesson? So it's all going to start with the slide deck that comes with the Skyline lesson. And what you're going to do is you're going to first determine which slides you want to use for your lesson. I don't think the Skyline people will mind if I say that not every single slide is important, and some of them are even repetitious or repetitive. Okay, so slide 18 and 19 is an example of that. Okay, and another consideration is that these lessons often take more than one class period. So if you're just trying to teach a lesson for one class period, you're likely not going to get through all of these slides. Okay, so those are a couple of considerations. And so what you're going to do is you are going to click these little dots right here. And one of them will say edit in Google. And so what this does is it converts the Skyline Safari montage slide into a Google Docs slide. And it does take a moment for the first time, but when you do the subsequent slides, it should go a little bit faster. Okay, so here we have our cover for lesson 5, and now we're going to think, well, what other slide do we want to have? Maybe we don't need the you will need slide because your kids are just so great about bringing everything they need, but you want to have the agenda, right? The agenda is very important. So you're going to do the same thing with this slide, but this time you're actually going to copy this slide into the original Google Slides, okay? Just like this. So just copy. We're going to close it out so we don't get mixed up, and paste. All right. So I'm just going to do one more, okay? I'm just going to do one more because I'm not going to show you how to do this for the entire lesson because that would take a long time. I just want to show you how to Nearpodify these slides. Okay, so I'm just going to do one more. All right, just going to copy and paste. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this as Google Slides because I'm going to upload these slides to Nearpod. And speaking of which, I have Nearpod right here. And now what I do is I go to create, and then I go to lesson, and now I'm just going to go ahead and upload the file. It takes a moment to process, and it takes longer the more slides you have. So, all right, voila. Now we have our slides. So whatever we see right here, when students enter the lesson code, they'll be able to see these slides on their screen. Super cool. And what we can do now is we can add an interactive slide. So we have our entry task. Share your observations, questions, and predictions about the smoking mirror. Okay. So this is a great opportunity to put in either a open-ended question or a collaborate board. I love the collaborate boards. Let's do that. So now what happens is you now have a collaborative bulletin board embedded into your lesson. So now students can answer this question through this collaborative bulletin board. Okay, and I love to change the background. There's some really cool ones. I'm partial to space themed things, so there's a couple of them. Anyway, so this is what you need to do in order to Nearpod a lesson. So we're going to go ahead and save and exit. And now we're ready to teach. I mean, it's only like 3 slides, but we want to see what the students see. Okay. So there are 2 different modes. There's live participation, which is the teacher controls the pace of the lesson, and then student paced, and that's when the students have control over progressing from slide to slide. So we're going to do student paced right now. And you enter the code, and here is our student-facing lesson. Pretty cool, huh? All right, everybody, and that is how you Nearpodify a Skyline lesson. I hope you found the video informative and easy to follow, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.